The Deal News Podcast, episode 247 for February 20th. I watch, you watch, we all... Oh, never mind. I'm joined by Lewis and Dan. Hey, fellas.
Hey, guys.
How are you?
Great.
Yeah?
I'm doing
A
okay.
little cloudy over here, but good otherwise.
Yes. It's a little cloudy here. The rain has not started, but I'm sure it will at any given moment during the podcast.
Right, so there's going to be a huge clap of lightning and thunder.
Yeah.
I guess it's a clap of thunder. You just a flash of lightning and a clap
You know
of
what?
thunder.
Out of all the podcasts we've recorded, I'm shocked that's never happened.
Right?
There's like a big thunder or just some...
You know what? That's
noise
true.
outside.
All we've had is my next door neighbor and his lawn
The
keeper.
lawnmower,
Right.
yeah. Every now and then, maybe sirens from like a fire truck, but never
Right.
something crazy.
Or a delivery person coming to the door, but we've never had like an act of nature, like an earthquake or
Right. Or
You know,
like
like
a
a
rodent
flash.
I don't know if
infestation.
you want that, though.
no, not
I'm just
hoping
saying.
for it. Not hoping for it.
Someday the glass is going to shatter in my kitchen.
When
And,
that nuclear blast hits, that'll be awesome.
right, there's just a blinding flash on my Lewis's monitor, and then like the rest of the podcast is just Dan being like, guys? Guys? Until Lewis and I come back as zombies, and we're like,
Or
podcast.
skeletons
I'm trying to eat your brains on the
through the microphone.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Before we begin, we have some listener mail.
Oh,
Yeah. Let's see. I added this to the show prep and forgot what he said. So this is like a cold reading. It's a surprise to me as well. Let's see. David P. says, regarding your discussion of getting flowers for Valentine's Day, I have had an experience. A long time ago, 25 to 30 years, the girl I was dating sent me flowers for Valentine's Day at my office. I was on a large floor of cubicles. I spent the day hearing one woman after another calling their husband or boyfriend saying, quote, some guy here got flowers, but you didn't send me anything. I enjoyed it immensely. He goes on, he says, I have enjoyed your podcast for a long time. Since I leaped into the modern age and got an iPhone a year and a half ago, I downloaded the podcast and listened to it on my horrible commute. It's a nice change of pace. David P. Well, thanks for writing,
wow,
David P.
that is awfully nice.
See, so like the other week when we called for, flowers sent to men. See, wow, it brightens someone's day. It brightened their entire day, not just getting the flowers, but all day as he heard the tortured calls of others.
And it makes everyone else jealous.
Yeah,
I know.
The opposite sex, it makes them jealous if you're a guy.
Right.
See, that's why you send them to yourself. I don't know why. It just sounded like a good thing to say.
Oh, who's that? What? Who sent me this? And then, but
I did get something for Valentine's Day though. This is not our show and tell, but my wife got me a Yankee Candle, patchouli candle.
I thought it was going to be Mantown.
Me
No,
too.
you know what?
Anton.
She asked me what was my favorite scent, and I just felt uncomfortable
Man.
saying Mantown. So I suggested patchouli.
All right. What does patchouli smell like? Kind of Woodstock?
You know
Like
it. Yeah, it smells like Grateful Dead and pot. I don't know. No, it's actually nice. It's kind of got a musky kind of floral scent to it. It's very earthy. How about that?
All right.
It does not smell like Mantown or whatever the other one was, like Lawn Care Guy or whatever those candle scents were.
If only this were a Smell-O-Vision podcast.
I know.
Yeah, no one would like that. I know.
No.
I haven't showered. That's not true. I'm lying.
But that's great. I'm glad that he got some flowers. That's kind of exciting. I
See?
personally have never heard of anybody other than myself getting flowers and then having a conversation therein.
See, the nice thing about getting flowers is not just that you get flowers, but then you do become the point of envy for everyone around you, you know?
Right.
So if you know someone that works from home, don't send them flowers because half of the gift really, no matter what the person says, is the fact they get to flaunt these things in front of other people. So,
Yes.
so flower gifts are a gift best sent to an office, at least in my opinion.
Yes.
Where I like, raising myself above others is what I'm saying. I like.
At home, there's no one you could brag to. Maybe the UPS person. Like,
Right.
look what I got. Oh,
Right.
you just gave that to me.
I guess if you plan it right, and like if you're working, because you're leeching the Starbucks free wireless and have it sent to that Starbucks, I guess that would be kind of fun.
Or you just bring them with you wherever you go.
Carry them with me.
Carrying it around. Can I go get a slice of pizza? You just carry it. Oh, these? Oh, my wife sent me these.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sad.
Wearing
This is
a
what my
sash.
life has come to. Before we begin, I want to share a personal story with you guys. Months, maybe even years ago at this point, Lewis, you shared a story about how you called Comcast because you wanted to cancel cable. And they offered you all sorts of riches and promotions to keep you.
I remember that.
Well, I finally got to a point where I wanted to actually cancel cable. You just don't need cable right now. So I was like, well, but let's see what they offer me by calling them. I can't afford the $100 a month that I'm paying for cable right now. But, everyone always says they give such great promotions. I decided, let's find out. Give them a call, and I tell them, look, I just can't afford cable. Now, remember, like you, Lewis, I do legitimately want to cancel cable as well.
Right.
She then says, well, here's what we can do for you. You're currently paying. I'm separating it out to cable and internet. I'm just paying $100 for cable. So you're currently paying $100 for cable. I can offer you a discount. You will now pay $90 a month. I say, well, thanks, but no thanks. She then puts me on hold, and she comes back and she goes, okay, I am authorized to now cut $20 off.
Oh.
And I said, well, that's still $80. That's not really. And I'm thinking of you the whole time, Lewis.
Right.
Being like, they came back, they were like $5 a month.
It's almost like a script. Almost, it's like, oh, hold on, I need to go, ask for permission.
Right.
And...
So I thought, all right, let's push this a little, and not push it because honestly, $80 is still too much.
Right.
And I said, I'm sorry, I still can't do that. She goes, no, well, that's a shame. Why don't you just bring your box to one of our offices and we'll cancel cable for you? And that was it.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah. So they
did you go back? Did you say anything like, are you sure that's the best you can do? Because if you push it a couple more times after that, sometimes they will relent.
She wasn't really budging very far on it. I mean, it does make me sound kind of like a jerk. Just remember, I really did want to cancel cable.
Right.
I really couldn't afford it. So like $20 a month. Wasn't that great? And I was like, well, I'm gonna have to cancel. She's like, bring it into one of our stores and we cancel there. We can't do it over the phone. I'm like, well, first you wasted my time by not telling me that up front. I really did want to cancel cable. So kind of incensed, knowing that other people get such good deals from wanting to cancel cable and like the retention specialists and everything. I actually tweeted to Time Warner Cable about it. And a guy like immediately tweets me back. He's like, let me know what happened. Direct message me your account information. And after verifying that they did work for Time Warner Cable, I sent them my stuff, and they had a specialist then call me back and go through it. And they actually did wind up knocking like half off of my bill.
Nice.
Get out.
Yeah.
So wait, you kept it. So you're keeping it.
Yeah. Because we figured maybe we can make $50 a month for cable work for a while.
That is damn good for
50% off.
tri-state area. That is amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah. We're still paying full price for internet and stuff, but and they were like, oh, well, we could save you money by bundling. I'm like, I don't want your phone. You don't
want bundle.
I don't want your bundle. But yeah, so they actually gave me a really good offer, enough that made me someone that did really want to cancel. Stick around for a while. And we figured, like, if we really can't continue to afford even $50 a month for cable, well, I'll still cancel. I'll just bring the box back and they're not going to be like, but we gave you such a good deal, you can't cancel now. So I figured no loss, no harm.
You should write an ebook.
Well, it's all based on Lewis, is what I'm saying.
Well, you can make Lewis like your ghostwriter. But the thing is
that it's like you said, like you really sincerely wanted to cancel it, so it's almost like you have nothing to lose, right? You're like, oh, I'm gonna cancel it, I don't care, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then they come back with the first offer, then the second offer, maybe you take it up to the third offer, and then you're like, hey, you know what, this isn't so bad. But the fact is, I think they've caught on a lot now, because so basically I've been doing that for the past 2 years or so, maybe. Was it 2 years ago that I did that?
Something like
and
that. Yeah.
So I did it for myself, then I did it for my parents, and then what they do is they give you that rate for like 6 months. And they always tell you, they've always told me over the phone, I'm with Comcast, so they always say like, oh, you know what? Call back in 6 months if your rate goes up, and we'll see what we can work out. And the first couple of times I would call back, and they would say like, all right, we extended it for another 6 months. But lately, the last time I did this, which wasn't too long ago, maybe a month or 2 months ago, they were like, you know what, that's the best we can do right now. And I was like,
Right.
So I'm wondering if now the extra step you have to go is complain on Twitter.
Right.
Because a lot of these
social media, man.
Yeah, a lot of these companies really jump when you say something on social media, specifically on Twitter. And like you said, you got like an almost instant reply from someone, and then came like the bigger, the more aggressive discount.
Well, now what did you say? What was the buzzword, Jeff, that you used to get them to call you? Like, what did you say in your tweet?
My tweet, I said, I think I said something like, called to cancel cable, I guess special retention offers only apply to other people or something like that. And I said like, they only offered me $10 off. I mean, I was a jerk in my tweet, like I did feel kind of bad, but I wanted to see like, I don't know. Everyone else gets discounts thrown their way. Why not me? Why not me this time?
Yeah. Why not Jeff Somogyi?
Right. So like, I felt like I wasn't just going to leave it at $10 off.
Right.
So I decided to push it.
That's pretty good though, man. Half off is is stellar.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. It makes me feel kind of bad. Like, why do I deserve that? Well, I deserve it because I can't afford cable, and I still get to have cable somehow.
But here's the thing. Think about it this way: you've been paying full price for how many years, and all it took was a phone call, and now a tweet, and you're getting half off your cable bill. I mean, like technically, what that means is everyone is being overcharged for it. That's the bottom line.
That's a great idea. Hold on. Dear IRS, I want $39,000 returned.
I've been a loyal paying customer of yours for years and years and years.
I have 500 Twitter followers.
Exactly.
And that's just it. Like, if they look at my Twitter followers, I don't have that many anyway, so I don't know why they bent over backwards for me, but it was very nice of them.
Well, it's the hashtag, man. It's all about the hashtag.
Yeah. So I guess what I'm saying, listeners and watchers, is just be vocal for it, and especially if you want to cancel anyway, see what you can get. Maybe it'll be a good enough offer to keep you around at least for a little while. It makes you reevaluate things because
Right.
So try it. Why not? I always thought, like, when you did it, Lewis, I was like, I could never do that. But,
right. We both said we hated haggling, and we don't haggle, but it was just came naturally almost because you wanted to cancel.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. It's
that's the best thing I learned. I took a negotiation class, and they always say, be prepared to walk away from the deal.
Yeah.
Don't be so emotionally invested in whatever it is that you want, be it a car, be it a service, whatever. Well, in your case, cable TV, that you can't walk away. Otherwise, that's where they have you. That's where they've got the death grip on you. So when you get to the point to where you can go, you know what, that's not good enough, and then they go, well, that's the best we can do, then you say, well, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Take your damn box and go home.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure for most people, when they get $10 off, they're like, well, it's something, and you stick around. But yeah, I wouldn't have been able to do this had I not really wanted to cancel cable. And I don't hold it against anyone out there who's like, I could never do that unless I really wanted to get rid of cable. So you really have to like be behind your convictions, like you said,
Exactly.
All right, let's move on from my personal life and talk about the I don't know, what's the biggest news to come around. I think maybe this week, the fact that there are so many rumors about Apple working on a wearable computer.
Right.
Is that have you guys heard about this?
Yep.
I've heard a little bit.
So what's the deal? They want to make a watch?
They want to make a watch that runs some form of iOS. And basically the watch is going to be almost kind of like your phone. Some people are saying it might come with Siri, so you'll be able to talk into it and say like, oh, what are my latest text messages? What are my latest emails? And if you want to reply to a text message, because it's using Siri, and you could do that now with the iPhone, you just talk it out and it'll automatically do that. It's supposed to have an OLED screen, I believe. And I believe it was the New York Times who's saying that, according to our sources, Apple's working on a watch. Kind of similar. When you think about it, Microsoft tried this a couple of years ago with their, what was it called? Their Spot devices, yeah. And now there's a Pebble watch, which came out not too long ago for CES, and that's getting a lot of buzz. Of course, Google has their glasses, so Apple needs something that's wearable as well. So they're like, all right, we're not going to do glasses because Google has that, and they're like, Microsoft did watches. Look how that worked out, but we're Apple. Let's see how far we can get with it.
Do you really think it's going to be a full-fledged phone though, or do you think it's going to be something that connects Bluetooth-wise to an iPhone that you already have? Because I mean, it's going to have to be really small, right?
What would be the point of it being a Bluetooth connected device? That's the thing that I have to keep thinking about. Well, number one, when I saw the story, I'm sitting there thinking of the Dick Tracy thing.
Sure.
Hello, Commissioner. But I don't know what would the purpose be. I mean, they've already had the wristbands that you could put the
froze
iPod
up
Nano.
A little bit there.
Did I?
Yep.
Oh.
Say it again. What would the purpose be?
Well, I mean, they've already have the iPod Nano wristband, so you can slip that into, which almost makes it look like a watch. So
right.
I just don't see what the purpose of having another wearable device that does the same functions pretty much as your phone or something else is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a really interesting rumor to come along, and it doesn't really seem to fit in anywhere naturally into the iPhone, the Apple lineup,
Right.
I mean, unless it is a new type of phone, but I don't know, doesn't the iPhone do enough for you? Like, do you need to have an iPhone that's strapped to your wrist at that point?
And here's the interesting part, because there's another rumor saying that, and this has been around for a while, that later this summer Apple's going to release an iPhone mini.
Yeah.
Could this watch be it? Maybe it's like the same rumor, but like I think most people think it's just going to be kind of like an accessory to your smartphone. So, it's a 1.5-inch screen, which is kind of small, but of course, OLED screen. And, maybe you just look at it, you'll get weather updates, you'll get Twitter updates, maybe you'll be able to see Facebook updates. Maybe or maybe not, you won't be able to reply back because obviously, you can't really type into it. But again, like I said, it's going to be running Siri.
Right.
So, and I think that's what's going to make it interesting. The fact that it'll be a version of iOS.
Yeah, it's just so strange to think like, all right, when you're walking, your arms are at your side, right, and your phone is in your pocket at your side.
Right.
So to check the weather, it's either this motion or this motion. Like it's both coming up from the hip, like you just reach into the pocket.
Well, I guess on the other hand, all right, I'll play devil's advocate on the other side of that. But I mean, 90% of the time, your phone is either in your pants pocket or your inside coat pocket or somewhere where it would take like 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 movements to get your phone out, right? This way, if it's on your wrist and it's connected to your phone via Bluetooth, I suppose, you feel the wrist vibrate and you look up, oh, I just got a text message from Jeff that said this. So
is this how far we've fallen?
I know. How sad is that? It's like
we're too lazy to reach into our pockets.
Right, exactly. We're too lazy to reach into our pocket and possibly unlock a device. Right. I remember a day where you had to go to a specific building to find new information. It was called a library, and now it's all here. Like, how much faster do we need? I don't know.
Well, I think honestly, I really do think, and this, I'm going to get all sci-fi on you here, but honestly, I think this is just the next step in the evolution of the personal computer that will one day be like implanted. Like it'll be either, next will come the wearable one that'll like just kind of hang behind your ear, so it's like totally out of sight. And then it'll be the one that you can get surgically implanted as a neural processor that, gets the calls and text messages flash in front of your eyes. Boy, that would be weird.
It would be great. I've always wanted a heads-up display. You kidding me?
When I'm driving.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a letter A.
I'm reading a book while driving. What do you guys feel about? Let's take it beyond wearable tech at that point, then, and let's talk about becoming a cyborg. What do you guys think? Would you ever want something that would be like implantable tech into our bodies?
I mean, they do it with dogs already, with
the
for like
microchips?
locators, the microchips.
Right.
And I'm sitting there thinking that they started doing it with Alzheimer's patients.
Yes.
Which I thought is a brilliant idea.
Yeah.
But something just for everyday use, that still kind of creeps me out.
Yeah. Well, like
because
something like a phone implanted so that you could just like, hello, mom, hey, like
right,
tap it on and off. What do you guys think? Would you ever augment your body with that way? Something like that, or like even something as simple as like a watch face that's under your skin, so it's like a digital readout under your skin, so you always know what time it is, and it always blinks 12 because you don't know how to set it.
Right.
Like the VCR. It's just
yeah.
Right.
I never know how to set my wrist DVR. Oh.
I don't think I say this now because I was one of the first people that said I would never own a cell phone, and I would have to say no at this moment until it got to the point to where, well, no, I don't think I would.
Lewis?
How about you? What about you, Lewis?
I think it would I wouldn't be first generation. Like, I wouldn't get the first generation. Definitely not. I wouldn't want to be that guy.
Oh, Lewis, he's running Zune.
Yeah. I can't update Android. But,
yeah, see,
but
that would... No, go on.
Something like, all right, of course, Google's working on their glasses, right? Let's say 2-3 years from now, rather than have the glasses, they're selling contacts that do the same thing. I think I would do that. I'm pretty sure I would do that. But once it's something implanted in you, I'm not too crazy about that. Unless, first of all, it has to be completely tested, tested on other people first.
Right.
And also it has to be flawless, and I mean like super flawless and smooth. I don't want any system, whether it's iOS or whether it's Google or whether it's whatever. I don't want it crashing.
Right, your eyes crash.
Yeah, I don't want to see the blue screen of death or whatever.
See, like I am all down for wearable tech. I think like augmentation like that is way cool. Like, I mean, think about a watch. A watch is wearable tech. That's like augmenting. You know what time it is all the time.
Sure.
So just like take that to an extra level. I mean, I have my phone on me all the time. What's the difference if they can somehow figure out a way of putting like, a computer into my glasses that I have to wear anyway because I'm genetically deficient in the eye department, So like if they can integrate into that and bring something to it, I'm all for that. But the second it goes to like implantable, I mean, think about how many devices will you be able to upgrade the firmware on it? And will you be stuck with old generation stuff? Will you need to have another surgery to remove it to put something else in? Will you find out that you bought the generation that can't be removed, and so your eyes will always continue to give you a heads-up display that looks like Windows 3.1,
Will the battery leak?
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Well, that's a good point too. I mean, it's. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but if it's flawless and with no problems in some weird way, because, as humans, we've managed to make things flawless all the time.
Sure.
But if there is something flawless that would never need to be removed or replaced, then yes. So I guess what I'm saying is, no, I would never do it.
Yeah, it's a scary thought. But I mean, you know what? Hey, we all thought. Well, I didn't because I wasn't alive then, but I'm sure they thought cars were very frightening and scary back when they were first introduced, or airplanes even.
Right. I still think airplanes are scary.
Yeah, they still scare the crap out of me.
Yeah.
But I think it's just you adapt over time when something becomes more of a standard than it is a novelty.
Right.
You automatically start to integrate it into everyday life.
Yeah. I mean, people have pacemakers. That's
a very good.
That's cyborg tech right there, and
it accesses the internet too. That's what's very scary.
Wait, it seriously does?
You can program it like there's now I don't know how much truth there is to this, but when I was watching Homeland on TV, they got the serial number from the pacemaker and sent it in, and was able to go in and hack it and give the guy a heart attack via the pacemaker.
Wow,
it's a true story, man. It was on TV.
Totally. Was that Claire Danes told you so, right?
Exactly.
Was that Claire? That's Claire Danes?
So that is quite good. Good reference.
I've never even seen it, so I don't know.
Oh.
All right, so go out and buy an iWatch whenever they are released, and they're probably not going to be released. I don't know. No. But then again, I said that about the iPhone. If you wish and clap hard enough, the iPhone or iWatch will come to pass, I suppose.
And I'm going to say this. I will put this down into the record books right now that it is my call that Apple will name their first implantable device the iMind. That's it. Carry on.
iMind.
All right. Think different. Yes.
Again.
Again, yeah.
All right, let's see. We maybe have time for another story. I did go on with personal stories there and all this. What should we do? Should we tell consumers that Best Buy is now going to be price matching online prices? So starting on March 3rd, if you go into a Best Buy store, you will be able to show them that there's a lower price on places like Amazon, Apple, Buy.com, which I guess is Rakuten now, Dell, Fry's, Newegg, Sears, Target, Walmart, and they'll price match them and many other online merchants as well.
Wow, that is kind of exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is their best foray into fighting showrooming, right?
Showrooming.
That's essentially why they're doing this.
Right.
Does this make you want to shop at Best Buy more?
I would. It depends on the product. I mean, if there was a product that I saw there and I knew it was like $15 or $20 cheaper at Amazon, I'd totally go to Best Buy and get the best deal for it.
Yeah.
It's worth the drive.
It makes Best Buy buying in Best Buy less of a risk. I mean, there's always a chance that there's going to be a lower price at one of these merchants that it does not price check to, of course.
Right.
But maybe if you do your online research at home and see like, oh, Amazon has it for the cheapest, let me bring this to Best Buy that's just around the corner and I can have it now, for this price matched price. So I think it's a good move for Best Buy, and I don't know. Hopefully, it adds a little bit of nail strength to the nails that are holding on to the edge of relevance in the shopping world.
Well, I think anything that they can do to make up for some of their previous sins would be greatly appreciated by the consumer community.
I don't know. If you don't forgive them their past sins, I don't think they're getting out from
all right. I'll hold a grudge forever.
And let's see, one last thing that we can talk about. What do you think? People watching more web videos than ever? Web ads. Sorry. What's
Yeah. Watching them?
Yeah. What's the deal with that, Lewis?
Yeah, there was a new study done. I forget the name of the company, but they essentially said that now more than ever, not only are people watching more commercial length videos online, but they're watching like longer, well, I guess commercial length, longer videos in general online. More videos, and they're longer than they were before.
Yeah.
So wait a minute, is that because they're forced to watch them? You know how that's like your video will not continue until you sit through this.
I'm guessing it's a mix of both, where you're forced to watch it, and more people are doing it. A lot more people are doing it. Like I would say maybe like 3 or 4 to 5 times when I launch a YouTube video, now I see an ad. It used to be back in the day you'd instantly get the video. Now it's like, here's the ad. And sometimes it says skip ad, sometimes it doesn't.
Or it says skip in 3 seconds or 4 seconds.
Right. Yeah, skip with the countdown. Yeah, and then a lot of sites are doing that. A lot.
It is kind of funny to hear that, based on this study, more people are sitting through the ads than ever before, essentially because there are more ads in content, but you get the content free. I guess they're like talking like Hulu places and stuff like that. Right. And I just thinking of my own experience years ago, whenever I would click on something and I would see an ad, I would be so mad. But now it's just like, and
now it's an annoyance.
Yeah,
right now.
It's weird. They kind of have trained me to not mind so much seeing ads during content. Something that I would rail against and be like, why isn't it free?
Right, and that's the other interesting thing in the survey in the research that they did, is the fact that people are okay with it. Whereas before when they first started doing ads online, everyone was like, oh hell no, blah, no. And now people are like, sure, I'll watch this 30-second ad, or I'll watch this 15 or second ad, or it seems like people have learned to accept it.
Yeah. Is it just that people are inured to it now, so it's just like ads, that's commonplace, that's what it is? Or do you think people are more rational about it and thinking, but I'm getting the content for free, so sitting through a 10-second ad every 12 minutes isn't that bad? No, I'm kidding. They're just used to it. No one is ever rationalizing off and being like...
They're just used to it. They know that no matter what site they go to, there's going to be a 10-second ad or whatever.
Yeah, you're conditioned.
You're conditioned.
Do we blame Hulu for this? Because essentially they're the ones that started... pardon me. They're the ones that started offering free content with ad breaks, right?
Right, I believe so, yeah.
I think Hulu was. Because I did a 30-day trial of it, and I quit like within 15 days because I hated the ads.
Oh, really?
Because I can do that on TV. It's like why would I want to go into my office, fire up my computer, and watch stuff on my PC and still have to look at the ads? I'd rather fast forward them.
It's free.
And supposedly Hulu's big thing was the fact that their ads were more targeted, and you could vote on the ads that you liked and disliked. And you could also say, oh, I want multiple short ads, or give me one long ad at the beginning of the program, or whatever.
Yeah. So essentially, what this means is that they're winning.
Yeah.
It's all that's going to happen is that it means that people are sitting through ads, and now that advertisers know that, they're going to add more ads to it, and we're just going to grow accustomed to that until watching online video will be like watching video on a television.
Right.
Except with the difference that you can't fast forward through it because you didn't DVR it. It's just streamed.
Which is sad.
So you have to sit there, right? So that is the big difference. So there's nothing you can do about it, consumers. Just sit back and
watch it up.
The good thing is, like on Hulu, you could just walk away, right, and then like come back and scan back. I don't know. I never walk away. They've got me.
They really got you.
It's working. They're in my brain.
Maybe you should call Hulu and try and negotiate no commercials.
Yeah,
just like they did with the cable company.
I can't afford to sit through commercials, Hulu. Yeah,
I guess. Let me tweet that for you. I guess. Some people don't have to have commercials.
At Hulu.
At Hulu.angry.com.
All right, guys, that wraps it up for this week. I want to thank you for joining me.
And we want to thank you as well.
Oh, well, you're welcome.
And you are as well.
And you're thanked.
And you thank you.
Listeners, for links to today's stories, Twitter feeds, blog links, and more, go to our show notes page. Also, feel free to send us feedback to podcast@dealnews.com. I'm Jeff Somogyi. Goodbye.